I am here with my friend Linda Mae Myers. We are about to get crack-a-lackin'. What we called this today was how to run like a successful, we didn't put like in the title, but how to run a successful home-based business, or what a successful home-based business looks like. And so what better person to bring on than one of my students that's doing all of the things and is really gaining some serious traction relatively quickly. I mean, a lot of times, you guys, it takes people 3 to 5 years to gain traction in their business, okay? So whenever you're in a group of people where it's just like boom, 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 it's good to know what's going on in there and what they're doing, right? So thank you for being here, Linda. I appreciate it.
Thank you for inviting me.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna
Happy
have
to
a
be here.
blast. So do you want to let people know what it was like before we came into contact? Like, you were already building a business, you were already, you had an entrepreneurial spirit already. What was going on in your home-based business at that point?
Well, I was running from who I really was. I mean, and let's just be honest, let's call it the way it is so way before I came into your world, the Marthaverse. I learned at an early age that I was attracted to like the idea of business and entrepreneurial and money, because that's what I do. I coach money. But early on, I came astutely aware of how that can be frowned upon. And like any good people pleasing person would do, old me, I pivoted. I looked for, well, what else could we do? And I went down many rabbit holes and avoided that whole that grossness. And then, through a lot of the mindset work and just identifying, okay, who do I belong to? What desires has he placed on my heart? And just stepping into that, I've been able to walk the path that I feel like I knew eons ago. But instead I took the long route, because that's what we do. We often take the long route, but God is good and he uses his bunny trails. So
there it is. There it is. So I have head to toe goosebumps right now, by the way. So I just love when people speak their truth, and this is what it is, because there are so many people stuck in the beginning part of that path, and they're just like, but I don't know. And then like their life all of a sudden just looks really confusing, right? My heart tells me to go here, but society and everybody's expectations tells me here. And so what was one of the first, I just want to really dig into this piece of it. So what was one of the first things that you heard whenever, when you were hearing the pushback and you decided you needed to go a different direction, or you needed to do that pivot? What was one of those monumental things that sticks in your mind that was, one of the catalysts for pivoting?
Pivoting the right direction or pivoting the wrong direction?
The wrong direction. I've done both. Yeah, the wrong one.
It was guilt. It was complete guilt. And, you talk about how society and these externals, but then we take them on as our own. So even in the quiet times, even alone times, even the times that I had my family, my husband and my children supporting me, it was that voice, that inner voice that I was allowing to dictate the steps. Like, oh, you shouldn't be doing that. You should be focusing on your children, which I do. I love my children. We homeschool. But identifying that you can do both. And it's possible, because the other thing and the other pivot, the good pivot, is the mindset shift of hustle, and that was one of the things that I attracted me to you, is because I felt like if I'm going to do this, I have to hustle, and that hustle was where it was hitting up with that guilt. And as soon as I could let go of that hustle, I was like, okay, I can do this, because I don't need to give my all to this thing over here. I can still give my all to my children and my husband, and still be able to work with other people.
Yeah. Well, and the interesting thing whenever you do it, and you're experiencing it now, is you can give your all to your family, to your children, to your community, because of this other thing, right? Like it's what allows us to give our all to our family. That's, people don't understand that it actually unlocks it. And the whole hustle, I mean, I told you I was not going to take a soapbox today. And then you said hustle. But hustle, I cannot handle hustle, you guys. Like, I can't, it destroys well-meaning entrepreneurs that could really do some awesome stuff in this world. Hustle is just, man, toxic waste.
Well, hustle can lead to success, but what hustle always leads to is burnout.
There it is. Yeah, it'll be short-lived success if it's success, and it's not going to be sustainable success. So that's whenever, if you hustled and you found success, it's not sustainable, right? Because of the
Right.
burnout. And it's
Yeah.
not,
And
is that how you want to succeed? I mean, by
no.
forgetting
And
about your family and your kids, and all of a sudden they're getting
right.
taller and you're like, oh my
Oh,
gosh, what happened? And then the last year was a blur and you're like, what even happened in this year? Like a whole honking
oh,
year, right?
oh yeah,
I've
I get that.
experienced it. Yeah,
Both
it's
of both
ugly.
of both of my kids are taller than me. So when you say taller, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
And I have one graduating this year. That's like, and so I'm able to operate a functional, successful business and still spend those last moments with her as we go through finish our homeschool journey. And I'm setting that example for her, not to hustle, but yes, you can do the things you want to do because she
Yeah.
is also an entrepreneur. She runs her own business and she's learning to juggle, and to balance.
I love it.
Um,
Ooh, I
so
love it. So whenever you came into my stuff,
mhm.
what was, I mean, I know that like the hustle was a big thing. What were some of the key like differences based on, because I imagine you followed other people before, but then whenever you came into my stuff, obviously I'm very different than anybody else out there. So what were some of the key differences that allowed you to really become successful? What would you say those were?
The first thing is that you encouraged us to be us, plain and simple. Because you're right. I've had two successes with multi-level marketing companies, but then I burned out, right? And so, but they were all about being duplicatable, and to that extent, there is value in that, but not to the point that you lose who you are and the message that you have to offer. Who you were created to be.
Yeah.
I spend most of my time working with people in money, and it's never about just the finances. It's always about who you were created to be and the choices you make. You know, so that was the biggest thing, is because that was the freedom that I felt like, oh, I don't have to be super whatever company girl. I can be me.
Yes.
You know, and it also gave me the courage to say I'm more than just that, and it's okay that I start a business and that it's a for-profit business and that I can help people with that.
Yeah.
Um, so
I
yeah.
love it. I love it. Well, what are you excited? So let's just say, what are the different things that you're in of mine? You're in like everything, aren't you?
I am in everything
She's in
because you
everything.
know me, I won't miss a thing.
Yeah. Every workshop that comes up, she like tries to pay for it twice, I think, is like,
I've done that. I have done that. I was like, wait, I already bought this because I bought it when it came out. I'm like, oh, I want that. And then you're like, oh, don't miss this. I'm like, I don't want to. Oh, wait, I'm already in.
already got it.
Okay.
I
So
love
yeah.
how many times that happens with people. They always email us. They're like, am I in this? Like, why am I seeing this? So in HBR, you guys, like, just to explain, that's the real meat and potatoes. Like, it's the signature program. It's the thing that's showing people literally how to create these multiple income streams from home. And a lot of that sounds like, ooh, I don't know, buzzwordy, but really at the end of the day, what it is it's allowing us to truly be who we are and to be able to monetize our passion and our support for our people in a way that isn't sleazy, that isn't weird,
No.
and also isn't off-putting to our people. Like, it's a totally graceful way to do things. And you guys, it's what we need to be doing, like, real talk. It's what we need to be doing right now because we need to be getting our houses in order, period. Like,
100%.
we don't know what's coming, and you need to be in control of your family and of your finances and of knowing what's going on in your world and the creation of income for yourself, so you're not at the mercy of anybody else that would have you do things that maybe you don't want to do in order to make your income. Guys, like, real talk, this
Yeah.
is what we have to be doing. Go ahead.
Yeah. My husband's a police officer. So, we've already had rumors of mandates and doing things and what that's going to mean for us. And so he was talking about that, and he's been in the force over 20 years, so he could retire, but kids, mortgage. So, and we were having this conversation. He looks at me and goes, or you can just spend more time in your business. Like you just like, this is a conversation. Like, yeah, or you know, what if I stay home and you just take care of it? I was like, you want to homeschool the children? Your son? Yeah, we can do this. But with in regards to HBR, like I feel like you can talk about HBR till you're blue in the face of all the things it does for people, but I feel like you don't get it until you're in it. Like the education, the modules are jam packed with all the information, but the secret sauce is the group coaching. And I'll be honest, I was the first person to be like, I don't know if I want this group coaching thing, but I was
Everybody
also the
thinks
first.
group coaching is crap. Everyone thinks it until they're actually in it.
Well, and I was also the person who didn't think I needed mindset stuff. So there's that. But I was like, yeah, so HBR set me straight. Like that's the God's honest truth. But I mean, to the point that like legitimately the program, my signature program that I offer, I start with mindset and I offer group coaching because it is the secret sauce. It's the community, it's the support. It's that, you know, how many times has someone come on to a group coaching call and be like, I'm back. I've been out, you know, this happened in my family or whatever. And so I love the model that you have, like you're one and done, like you buy it, you're in, and that allows that prodigal son to return, so to speak. But that's a feeling you get. Like everybody's like, welcome back, like, yeah. And they're there to support you just like you never left or whatever. So that is, yeah, that's a secret sauce.
Thank you so much again with the goosebumps. That's our focus, and I think you can hear it through what she's saying. Our focus is the person, right? Our focus is you. Our focus is your family. Our focus isn't trying to fleece dollars out of people because we could charge monthly for our stuff if we wanted to, but that's not what we do. It's like you pay once and you're in for life. For whatever you go through, whatever questions you have. At scale, you're going to have more questions than you do in the beginning, and I've been through all of it, so I'm still able to help at all levels. So yeah. We're focused on you and your family, and that's what drives us, and I mean, thank you for saying that. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and the group coaching answers questions you didn't know you had.
Yep.
There you go. Like, I'll go in like, I don't know if I need to be on today. I'll just be on. And then you either end up pouring into someone else or you have a list of things to do when you get off and you're like, wait, what just happened?
What just happened? Also, now I need to do this. Yeah. Well, you guys, I want you, Linda, I want you to tell people about what you're doing. Like, what are you offering? And then also tell them about, you probably have a group that they can go into to be able to get some extra help from you. Let them know what that is.
Yeah, so I have a free group on Facebook. It is Healthy, Wealthy, and Wise, a faith-based journey to do more, give more, and serve more. So my heart is about helping people. You know, I call it that pew moment where you're sitting in the pew at church and, you know, there is a need presented or an opportunity presented to go serve and help. And you're like, oh, I really wish I could do more. I really wish I could go. And then you're like, but I can't. So you do what you can. You say someday I'll be able to give more. Someday I'll be able to go do that. Someday. Yeah. And so my passion is to help bring that someday closer and to get on that path and make someday sooner. So we talk mostly about finances and just how to get those under wraps. We dive a little bit into the income streams. We pass you on to Martha because she's the queen of that. And then we also talk a little about just taking care of ourselves and our connection with our creator and balancing family. So that's kind of what we do there. If you check out my website, you can just click on freebies. There's lots of freebies in there. I didn't pick one because there's like 8 of them. Just find what resonates with you and start on that journey to do more, give more, and serve more, because that's what we're here to do.
Amen to that. Amen to that. Also, you guys, if you're watching this and you're like, HBR, tell me more about that. What I want you guys to do is I want you to message my Facebook business page right here. It's Livin the Dream with Martha. Message me the word Linda, okay? And then I'll know that it's from this video here. So just message me that word. We'll go ahead and have a conversation, or my team will have a conversation with you, and we'll give you the details of the program. You're in or you're out. Either way, we're not going to chase you around the internet. That's not what we do. But it's super important. I'm just going to reiterate. I'm not saying this to scare anybody. I'm saying this for you to have your ducks in a row. It's important, guys. And the sooner that you start working on creating your income from home, the better off you're going to be whenever stuff hits the fan, because it's inevitable at this point, you guys. It's inevitable. So let's just make sure that we're totally prepared as we go into it, and the sooner the better. So Linda, thank you so much for being on with me. I absolutely appreciate you and your candor and transparency and all of the things.
Awesome. Glad to be here. Thank you again for inviting me. It was fun.
Oh, heck yeah. Everybody, you have the best day. I will see you later.